This story about brave warriors who do not fear death. In the background, there's a man, a storyteller. He narrates a legend or myth about Japan's creation. The myth involves a deity retrieving a sword from the sea. From this sword, 4 droplets fall, forming Japan's islands. However, the man tells a different tale. He believes Japan was forged by the courage of men ready to die for their land. Suddenly, he snaps open his eyes, filled with rage. Then, the story shifts to an American scene. A man is seated, while an announcer in the background is introducing an event, talking about a true American hero. The man drinks his liquor. The announcer calls out for Captain Nathan Algren. The audience waits expectantly, but he remains seated. The announcer asks for patience, but upon approaching Nathan, he's irate, declaring Nathan fired for his behavior. Nathan rises and approaches the stage. He displays his gun, claiming it helped him conquer the West. He shares stories of his comrades, winning the crowd's empathy. Then, he demonstrates his gun's workings, shocking the audience by loading and firing it, without intending harm. He tosses the gun into the crowd and leaves. Outside, an old man applauds him. Nathan is surprised to see the old man alive. As they walk, the old man offers Nathan a job, claiming it's perfect for him. They enter a restaurant. There, soldiers greet them and introduce a man named Okumura, from Japan, along with his associates whose names are too complex to pronounce. Both Nathan and his companion were invited to join the group to discuss training with the Japanese army. Okumura proposed a salary of $400 per month. Nathan, however, asked for $500, plus an additional $500 upon completion of their task. Nathan then stood up, but was followed by the colonel, who inquired about his concerns. Nathan retorted that he would eliminate any target for $500, but he would gladly dispatch the colonel at no cost. Nathan's journey took him to Yokohama Harbor, where he met a man named Graham. Graham briefly described how the once quiet city had grown bustling. Graham shared that the Japanese emperor had been bringing in experts from the east, like architects and engineers, and now they were recruiting warriors, including them. Graham revealed he was a translator. Their destination was to meet the emperor, who expressed gratitude for their acceptance of the job. Nathan and his fellow soldier began training the Japanese troops. Nathan found himself intrigued by a samurai named Katsumoto, renowned and revered for his refusal to use firearms in combat. After training, they returned to their lodging. Nathan's curiosity led him to examine some Japanese books on samurai. He inquired if Graham had any translations. Graham mentioned he was still working on it. Nathan's comrade pointed out Nathan's skills in linguistics. Graham requested a demonstration, asking how Nathan would describe skin peeling. Hesitant at first, Nathan eventually gave a vivid description, playfully warning Graham about the consequences of not translating the book promptly. As Nathan spoke, he was haunted by flashbacks of past raids against Native Americans, including women and children, who were innocents. They had fired indiscriminately, even as these innocents fled for their lives, defenseless. His eyes brimming with tears. Back at training, Nathan observed that the soldiers were fortunate in aiming mostly in one direction, even though many shots missed the mark. He personally coached a soldier on proper formation and aiming. When the soldier took a shot, he struck the bullseye. Okumura approached them. He informed them that Katsumoto was initiating his rebellion. Nathan expressed concern about the soldiers' readiness, but the colonel argued that the rebels had no rifles, only bows and arrows. Nathan, to make a point, held a gun to a soldier, challenging him to shoot or be shot at. The pressured soldier fired but missed Nathan, who then remarked on their unpreparedness. However, the colonel was adamant about engaging in battle with Katsumoto at dawn. The next day, as they traveled to the province, they witnessed destruction, with burned houses and people in disarray. Graham wondered how they would locate the samurai, but Nathan assured him that the samurai would find them. Reaching Yoshino province with his trained troops, Nathan commanded them in the forest, bracing them for battle. The soldiers were visibly nervous, with trembling hands and uncertainty. As they encountered the enemy, chaos ensued. Some soldiers fired prematurely in fear, leaving no time for reloading. Many fled as the samurai charged on horseback. In the midst of the bloody conflict, rifles seemed no match for the samurai's swords. The Japanese general fled, while Nathan and his comrade Zeb engaged in sword combat. During the battle, Zeb was struck by a samurai's spear. The samurai dismounted and moved to attack Zeb with his sword. Nathan, distracted, fell from his horse but continued to fight, despite being wounded by various spears. The samurai leader watched Nathan bravely confronting multiple warriors. A high-ranking samurai declared he would be the one to finish Nathan, but Nathan, lying wounded on the ground, managed to defeat him first. The surrounding warriors prepared to attack Nathan, but Katsumoto ordered them to capture him alive instead. When questioned by his warriors about sparing Nathan, Katsumoto explained the need to learn from this new adversary amidst the impending battles. Kata, a woman from the village, tenderly cared for Nathan's injuries. Meanwhile, Katsumoto discovered a book in Nathan's bag. Haunted by memories of past atrocities against Native Americans, Nathan woke up days later, healed, and began exploring the village. He observed the rebels' way of life and their training methods. Nathan was escorted to meet Katsumoto in a temple. He inquired about the identity of the man in the red suit he had killed and the woman tending to his wounds. Katsumoto revealed that the man was his brother-in-law and the caregiver was his sister, Kata. Realizing he had killed Kata's husband, Nathan was struck by her kindness in nursing and feeding him. While walking in the rainy weather, Nathan noticed children fighting. He appreciated the fencing skills of the local children. He was asked to fight one of them. Nathan defeated the child because of his age. But one of the samurai did not like it. The samurai challenged Nathan and quickly defeated him. Nathan got up quickly, but fell again under the samurai's blows. In the end, he left Nathan lying in the mud under the stares of the other samurai and the inhabitants. He returned to the temple. Katsumoto tried to understand his enemy, realizing that they had both studied war. He asked Nathan about the Indian conquests and learned that Nathan had been a captain. At the end of the conversation, Katsumoto made notes on paper. As time passed, Nathan absorbed many aspects of the local culture, including discipline, courtesy, and the importance of training. He learned that samurai means to serve and began picking up Japanese language skills and swordsmanship. The villagers were enjoying the theater performance until the assassins came to kill Katsumoto. Everyone protected Katsumoto by fighting the assassins, in which Nathan also took part. Nathan was almost defeated, but the brave child grabbed his father's sword and drove the attacker away. He then ran to Katsumoto's aid and they successfully repelled the attack. As spring arrived, Nathan and Katsumoto discussed Katsumoto's poetry. Nathan realized that it wasn't the emperor who opposed Katsumoto, but rather Okumura. Katsumoto revealed he had to leave the village as requested by the emperor. Nathan was escorted by samurai to the camp, where the emperor and Katsumoto were in conversation. The emperor sought Katsumoto's advice on protecting his people, to which Katsumoto responded that the emperor, blessed with wisdom, should find the solution. Meanwhile, Nathan was questioned about the samurai's lifestyle and warfare tactics. He claimed ignorance, stating he was just a captive. Okumura then privately proposed that Nathan lead his army, hinting at a new contract. Nathan walked away, prompting Okumura to order his men to eliminate Nathan if he made contact with Katsumoto. The rebellion in Tokyo paused, with samurais visible throughout the city. Katsumoto, about to enter the Japanese council, was told by Okumura to leave his katana outside. He refused, stating he would only comply if the emperor demanded it. With the emperor remaining silent, Okumura ordered Katsumoto to be escorted out. In another room, Katsumoto faced a man with a knife, who instead of attacking, offered the knife to Katsumoto, suggesting he end his own life. On the other side, Nathan, ready to leave Japan after being paid, was ambushed outside. He fought off the attackers, realizing his actions were akin to those of a samurai. Nathan then went to where Katsumoto was being held, determined to rescue him. As they attempted to escape, they were pursued by guards with guns. Most managed to cross a bridge, but Katsumoto's son was left behind, shot, and fell to the ground. Nathan attempted to rescue Katsumoto's son, but his injuries were severe. Katsumoto was torn between sorrow and anger. His son urged them to leave him, having fulfilled his duty. Nathan observed the son valiantly battling with his bow and arrows against rifle-armed foes. Upon returning to the village, they braced for an imminent, fierce battle. The villagers readied themselves for the conflict. Nathan shared with Katsumoto the tale of the Persians, who faced overwhelming odds with a small force. He proposed drawing their enemies close enough for sword combat. As the battle loomed, Taka offered Nathan her late husband's red armor as an honor. They shared a moment of compassion, culminating in a kiss. Dressed for battle, Nathan and the samurais took their positions, facing thousands of soldiers. The colonel was shocked to see Nathan among the samurais, to which Nathan responded with a hope to meet on the battlefield. The Japanese regime opened the attack with cannons, but the samurais stood their ground. A second cannon volley caused casualties, prompting a tactical retreat to draw the regime closer. Their plan succeeded. The samurais, now behind wooden barriers, awaited the regime's approach. Nathan instructed them to wait until the enemy reloaded their rifles before attacking. Despite being wounded by bullets, the samurais fought valiantly, turning the battlefield blood-red. As endless regime troops approached, the outnumbered samurais resolved to launch a final attack. During the confrontation, Katsumoto was gravely injured. A general ordered a ceasefire. Nathan assisted Katsumoto in ending his life with a sword, fulfilling his wish to die amid the spring blossoms. The troops showed respect for Katsumoto's passing. Nathan then boldly presented Katsumoto's sword to the emperor during an American treaty ceremony, which was halted. Okumura branded Nathan an enemy, but Nathan accepted any fate the emperor deemed just. The emperor, taking the sword, cancelled the treaty ceremony and reprimanded Okumura, halting his plans. The story concluded with varying accounts of Nathan's fate. Some said he succumbed to his wounds, others believed he returned to America. However, few knew that he went back to the village to reunite with Taka. The end. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like our channel and subscribe if you like this kind of content. Also let us know which movie you would like us to recap for you.